What is up, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how exactly to use Claude Skills as a known coder to actually create automations, to actually create output that are standardized to your company, right? So a couple of months back, I used to face this problem. So if you don't know what Claude is like ChatGPT, but it's way better in general. The output is super good, and now I think the whole world is catching up to it. And Claude has these features like something called as projects, where you can create custom instructions which they follow. This is my Claude Sales Pro project where I can literally create sales scripts, review sales calls, a lot of stuff. The problem was I could not share it with my team member. Another problem, even if I could share, the output of a Claude project or Claude chat would be very different in my computer versus my team's computers. Okay. Third, even if I give them my set of prompts to use, even then the output becomes extremely different. Okay, so this is a common problem even with chat gpt or any kind of ai tool that you use. Now to avoid that, Claude has recently launched something called as Claude Skills. Now obviously Claude Skills are very developer friendly. However, I'll show you how to use the what are some of the real world applications of Claude Skills as a non coder, and how you can use it to structure a lot of things in your business. This is very basic as a tutorial. You won't learn any advanced stuff, but it will really help you in terms of understanding how you can use this in your business, how can you automate and standardize a lot of things. So most people who use Claude, they get average results, and most of them don't know why, because there's a typical kind of output that you get. It's not because Claude is bad, it's because they're using it like a search engine. Like it'll be like something like, hey, create give me a YouTube, let's give me a tutorial doc uh, of 500 words on how to onboard a client. Okay, something like that people do. And what happens here, you see, I'm starting from scratch every time, although it used like a Claude skill that I have already created. So I'm gonna like avoid this. Maybe I'll stop it. But point is, most people just start with this. The output becomes like really horrendous, right? Uh, and if you just put this prompt on your computer, your output will be very different than my output, right? And that's the problem. I cannot replicate the same kind of output across my team members, and hence it was like a issue. Now, Claude came up with Claude skills that are like instruction manuals that are stored on your computer or in the cloud that is working on. So when you ask Claude to do something specific, like create a Word document, write it in a certain way, build a slide deck with a certain kind of designs, or design like a poster, well, it creates exactly like that. It follows the instruction. The output is super consistent, right? And Claude can read like a relevant skill file first to learn the best way to do that task well. So basically, it makes the output more consistent to how you like it. Now, what's the difference between skill and project? A project is basically you telling Claude who you are and what you want, right? For example, I'll just show you a project of mine. So this is a Claude project. Okay, this is Sales Pro. Now, Sales Pro has a lot of instruction, which is how to review sales calls. There is a specific instruction like I'll feed you the best material, go through this. This is my framework. It's a whole thing that I do. Okay, now this is very individualistic. Okay, I'm telling Claude who am I and what I want. So I'm Jayant, I run Ubility, write in Hormozy style, no M dashes, whatever, right? A skill is something like, hey, this is how Alex Hormozy writes. Here is exact instructions to do, and these are the things to avoid, and this is how you need to build every single piece of content. So that's like an SOP that you upload into Claude so that the output is consistent. So when do you use projects versus when do you use skills? So projects is work is about you, your brand, your client, your style, and your context. And mostly you'll be using projects as an individual, unless you want to take like a team plan where the project can only be shared between team members. But majority of the Claude users like me who take the I think the Pro plan, if I'm not wrong. I don't know which plan I'm in. Which is, I think I'm using this one, Pro, huh? If you're somebody like me who uses like the Pro plan, you cannot share it with multiple team members, and that's a problem, right? So when you use skills, when you're generating files repeatedly and you want a quality and consistency in that particular thing, right? When you want your team to get the same output as you. For example, if I'm building a system where 10 account managers, all of them need to produce onboarding documents for our clients, okay? And everybody needs to have the same language, same kind of structure, but just customized for a specific client. Skill can do that, right? Skill ensures that every output is structured correctly without needing to figure out the formatting, right? So how do you create a Claude skill? So decide what skills you want to do. Like, let's say I want to create content which is very similar to Alex Hormozy, right? Or build client pathways, right? That could be one. Then you write a skill.md file. It's a markdown file with a name. Don't worry, I'll come to that. It's name, description, when to trigger, and instructions, all of it. You test it, run some prompts to see if Claude uses this correctly and produces good output, and refine it based on what's working, and package it into a .skill file one so that you can install it. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how exactly to do that. But what's this .md file? Okay, so .md is something called as a markdown format. Just like you have Word doc file which gets saved as let's say document.docx, something like that, right? PDF is .pdf. Similarly, markdown is .md. It's a plain text file with simple formatting rules, which a lot of these AI models tend to, easily understand, right? So instead of clicking on bold like in Word, you type star star bold star star, so that the AI model knows this is called bold. Okay, so they have their own format. You don't need to learn how to write in .md. Don't worry about it. Okay, why .md specifically? Claude reads text, not Word docs. .md is clean, lightweight text that Claude processes easily without any conversion, and it adds some sort of structure with that complexity, and it's universal. It can be used across the board in any kind of content. Okay. Now, how exactly to create this .md skill file? Basically, how to use Claude skills for that matter. Okay. Now, if you want to create a Claude skill, you need to come to Claude, right? This is the new chat. Now, I have the Pro plan. I'm not too sure if a free plan user can do this, but if you come to the bottom left of your screen and go to, oh no, not bottom left, it's on the top right. If you get this one out, you'll find something called as customize. Earlier it was in the bottom left. On the left, you'll find something called as skills. Okay, I already have a skill created here. I will uninstall this skill and I'll create this entire skill on my own, and I'll stop the ones that I have. So this is where you can find skills. Okay, skills are basically by instructions, so it will be kind of blank for you, but mostly once you come to the skill, it opens up the skill creator. Yes. So if you click on plus, you can create a skill with Claude, or upload a skill or write skill instructions so that you can create. You don't need to use any of these. Just go to browse skills, and there are certain skills that you need to create, install. Something that I personally like called skill creator. This way you can simply chat with Claude and it creates the whole .md files for you. So you don't have to worry about any of that. Okay. I mean, if you want to create .png or PDF document, Canvas design is pre-built by Anthropic. That's there, but mostly you'll be using skill creator. This is the one. Okay. Now come back to new chat. So we'll be creating our skills, and there are multiple ways of doing this. First, you can write the whole thing yourself. I personally don't know Markdown, so I'm not the biggest fan of it, but you can do another thing where you can like create an SOP, like upload an SOP and ask skill creator to create a skill. Okay. Now let me show you what I mean. Okay. So there is something called as, this is an sorry, I'll just open up a new sort of skill. Okay. Okay. So this is a quick SOP on how do we design pathways for our clients. Okay. And honestly, a lot of my team members, they follow this particular thing to create implementation pathway for our clients ourselves. Okay. Now, what I do is I want to create a Claude skill around it so that anytime we upload like clients detail, it designs pathway for them. So let's say we go to file, download, and we download this as a .md format. Okay. So that's there. Now we go to Claude and I'll be like, um, so let's say we do download and I'll upload this right here and be like, uh, hey, this is a complete set of instructions that I give to my team members on creating pathways for our coaching clients. I want you to build a Claude skill on it. Okay. You can just do this and it will start creating the Claude skill. Oh, by the way, I've used Sonnet. I made this mistake. I'll just do it again. Do not use Sonnet. Try using Opus for that. Opus is Claude's latest model. So I'll do Opus and I'll repeat the same exercise. So the output is vastly different with Claude Sonnet versus Opus, because Opus is way more intelligent than Sonnet. I can actually stop it. Okay. Let's just wait for Claude to create. All right. So it has gone through the document. Now it's creating something called as Usability Pathway Designer skill. All right. So I finished my limits also. There you go. Fantastic. So I just created this called Usability Pathway Designer. Obviously, it created both the files, which is skill.md that we can use or Usability Pathway Designer skill. Now, on the right side, you can see that skill.md and it gathers client intels, applies the decision tree, whichever niche they are in, it creates like this is the pathway that it assigns for them. Um, situations here, glossary, there is a team. All right. So it has created basically turned this as SOP into a skill. Now what I can do is I can just download this one, which is the first one. I can actually click on save skill, but now that this is downloaded, this skill I can send to a team member of mine who can upload it to their Claude and install it there, and then they can use it. Now let me show you how to install this skill. So we'll go to Claude. Okay. We will go to customize, then skill, then we'll click on upload, sorry, plus create skill. You can upload skill and basically drag and drop that skill file right here. Okay. So there you go. Now, say I got like a client's uh, details. Let me just pick a client detail and come back. All right. I could not show you the exact uh, the client details, obviously, but I'm going to show you how to use the skill. Give me a minute while uh, yeah, I'm going to use some $5 worth of skills. All right. So yeah, let me just refresh real quick. What? I did add some credits. Huh. Anyways, let's just use it. We'll use Sonnet just to save it. So I'll basically paste, uh, here are my clients' details. Uh, I'll click on plus and be like, use this designer to create a pathway for them. And then I'll paste the client details and I'll hit enter. Okay. Now what it'll do is it'll go through the pathway designer skill. There you go. It analyzes the client. I can actually say, hey, just give me the pathway and not the document. Okay. There you go. It creates like a pathway for me. So it's pretty good, right? So it does like the whole phase by phase path that my coaching client could go through. Now, how does this help me is like, now I don't have to, like normally my account managers, they do it. And like every time they do it, they have to get it reviewed by me, right? Now that my brain is downloaded in Claude, it has given a pathway which is proven to work. What can they do is they can directly take it and show it to the client and just implement it with the client, correct? So it saves me a lot of time. So this is definitely one way to obviously create the file where you upload the SOP. You can another way you can do it, you can record a video SOP and turn it into a skill. For example, if I go to my YouTube channel, pick any one of my how-to videos, which is technically one of the SOPs, right? So let us create okay. So there is a video on how to create a unique selling proposition, which is not a theory. Okay. Now here I would be like, what is, so this is the, obviously this is like the video. I can just take the transcript of this video by using a plugin called as Glasp. This kind of gives you the YouTube transcript. There are many such free plugins, just check. And what you can do is you can copy the transcript and go to Claude and say, build a USP creator skill based on this video guide. Okay. Now, obviously, you can edit the skills uh, depending on uh, the output that you got. Like for example, the skill before, the one that I just created, which is the pathway designer. It had a problem where it was creating a document, correct? So I could like uh, edit the skill and give more instructions, right? I can actually edit with Claude, uh, like help me edit the usability pathway designer. I want it to only produce the pathway and not a full document, right? And it edits that. Oops, sorry. I did a mistake. Okay. It starts creating that, correct? Now here it has created like a USP generator and obviously created a USP creator skill. And I'll need to go through this. And obviously after going through this, I can save this skill if I want. So this is another direction. Third, you can ask Claude to replicate somebody else's skills. For example, let me just create this one. Okay, I just created the Alex Hormozzi style uh, well, a skill. It's really cool. So what I did was, I really liked a video of Alex, which is, let me just say, okay. So let us go to a video that he just created. This one. I'll absolutely
In the last
he
12 months, my
repurposed his
social
video
media
of
hit
the past and he uploaded it here, and it was absolutely like mind bending. Okay. It was pretty cool. And I loved how where he mentioned how to create content, how do you talk, all of that. Okay. So what I did was I copied the whole transcript, the entire transcript of 3 hour long video, and I actually created like a chat with Claude. Okay. Where I was like, okay, hey, this is Alex's video about how to grow a brand. Now, I don't want you to learn how to grow a brand. I want you to learn how well he articulates simplicity in language, examples he gives, analogies he created, the depth he brings, and the flow of the presentation, because I want to replicate it for myself. Okay. So, say I'll create like a new chat. I'll paste that whole transcript and I do the whole thing. And if you like somebody's content, you can obviously create it. I would say summarize in 200 words. Okay. Now let it go through the whole thing. Now, because I'm producing content, I also want uh, it to learn how to not create content like AI. Okay. This is very important. So search in Google for something like science of AI writing, and you'll come across a Wikipedia article, which is basically science of AI writing. And you can copy the whole thing. It has like figured it out. Like it has every single sign that that an AI model could use, which gives it away that it's an AI model. Okay. And you can copy the whole page, or you can download it as a HTML or whatever. Figure it out. You can just do however you want to save it. You can save it. What I've done is I copied the whole thing. I printed it and not printed it, saved it as a PDF, then as a markdown file, and I have saved it uh, as a markdown file called as Science of AI Writing. Basically, this is it. Okay. So what I'll do is, now that it has learned how Alex speaks, I'll also write this. Go through this. I want to create. Uh, I want. What's it? Make sure that the content you create avoids any sign of AI writing. Okay. And then I would be like, any sign of AI writing. And on top of that, I can always say, merge it with what you learn from Alex and create a Claude skill that I can use to create documents, outside training documents, or any kind of content. Okay. Now it can create a Claude skill where it creates content like Alex but avoids the signs of AI writing. You get where I'm going with this, right? So this is a very, very cool way to create a Claude skill, which allows you to have that consistency in terms of content. Now, this skill that I download from here, I can share it with other people. I can share it with you. I can share it with my team member. I can share it with my clients who can use this to create their own content because it replicates. Uh, it has taken instruction from Alex. It has replicated his style. Also, it knows what to avoid. So it's a pretty good instruction. On top of that, if I upload transcripts of my own video and be like, okay, here are some of the videos that I have created, go copy this, it actually goes ahead and copies those. Okay. Now this, uh, I mean, obviously you get the point now. It takes its own sweet time to create the Claude skill. In general, this is how you do it, right? Once you've created the skill, you can just download that .md or that .skill file and send that file to whoever needs it through email. and install it in the Claude environment, which I just showed you a while back, correct? So that is not all about Claude Skills. That's just scratching the surface, but I wanted to create a beginner friendly video which is easy to use and it's practical at the same time. Okay, so was that beginner friendly and was it practical? Let me know in the chat. And do you want these skills? Because I could definitely do a giveaway of a lot of Claude skills that I create. Apart from that, in the upcoming videos, I want to go deeper into Claude skills and various things that you can create with Claude skills itself. Okay, so let me know what you think about this video, and if you want more of these, then subscribe to the channel.